Have you ever wondered what makes a missile a missile? From the thunderous roar of a rocket launch to the whisper-quiet flight of a cruise missile, these incredible machines have shaped modern warfare and global politics. Today, we're diving deep into the world of missiles, breaking down how they're classified and what makes each type unique. So, buckle up as we explore the engineering marvels that fly faster, farther, and with more precision than ever before. Let's start with where these weapons are launched from. First up, we have surface-to-surface missiles, or SSMs. These are launched from the ground or sea to hit targets on the ground or sea. Their history goes back to the V-2 rockets of World War II, which were the first long-range guided ballistic missiles. Over the decades, they evolved from simple, often inaccurate weapons into highly sophisticated systems. Modern examples include Russia's Iskander system, which is known for its maneuverability, making it hard to intercept. Another famous example is the American AGM, a tactical ballistic missile that can be fired from mobile launchers like the HIMARS, providing rapid, long-range firepower. Next are surface-to-air missiles, or SAMs. These are the guardians of the skies, launched from the ground to take down enemy aircraft, drones, and even other missiles. SAMs are the backbone of modern integrated air defense systems, creating a protective bubble over critical areas. Think of systems like the Russian S-400 or the American Patriot missile system. These networks use powerful radars to detect incoming threats and then launch interceptors to neutralize them, playing a crucial role in establishing air superiority from the ground up. Then we have air-to-air missiles, or AAMs. These weapons completely revolutionized aerial combat. Before AAMs, pilots had to engage in close-range dogfights, using cannons to shoot down their opponents. But with the advent of heat-seeking missiles like the early AAM-9 Sidewinder, a pilot could destroy an enemy aircraft from miles away without ever seeing it. Modern AAMs are even more advanced, with fire-and-forget capabilities, allowing a pilot to launch a missile and then immediately focus on other threats or evasive maneuvers. Moving on to air-to-surface missiles, or ASMs. These are launched from aircraft to strike targets on the ground or at sea. They are the primary tools for precision strikes. ASMs come in a huge variety from anti-tank missiles like the Hellfire, often fired from helicopters, to large cruise missiles like the Storm Shadow, or a JSSM launched from fighter jets or bombers to destroy high-value targets like command centers or bunkers deep behind enemy lines. Their precision minimizes collateral damage and allows for surgical strikes in complex environments. Finally, in this category, we have the Submarine-Launched Ballistic Missile, or SLBM. These are the ultimate guarantors of a nation's nuclear deterrence. Launched from submarines hidden deep beneath the ocean, SLBMs provide a second strike capability. This means that even if a country's land-based nuclear arsenal were destroyed in a surprise attack, its submarines could survive and launch a devastating retaliatory strike. This near invulnerability makes any first strike unthinkable. The American Trident II and the Russian Bulava are prime examples of these powerful, world-shaping weapons. Now let's talk about how they fly. The flight path is a key differentiator. The most well-known is the ballistic missile. It follows an arcing, projectile-like trajectory. The flight has three distinct phases. First is the boost phase, where powerful rocket engines push the missile high into or even above the atmosphere. Once the fuel is spent, it enters the mid-course phase, coasting through the vacuum of space. Finally, it re-enters the atmosphere in the terminal phase, hurtling towards its target at immense speeds. In stark contrast, we have cruise missiles. These are essentially small, unmanned, jet-powered aircraft. They fly low to the ground, using terrain-hugging navigation to stay below enemy radar coverage. This low-altitude flight, combined with stealthy designs that reduce their radar signature, makes them incredibly difficult to detect and intercept. They navigate using a combination of GPS, internal inertial navigation systems, and sometimes even terrain-matching radar, allowing them to follow complex flight paths with pinpoint accuracy. The newest and most talked about category is hypersonic missiles. These weapons travel at speeds greater than Mach 5, 5 times the speed of sound. There are two main types: hypersonic glide vehicles, which are boosted to high altitude by a rocket and then glide to their target, and hypersonic cruise missiles, which use advanced engines called scramjets to maintain hypersonic speeds throughout their flight. Their incredible speed and maneuverability make them a nightmare for current air defense systems, which have very little time to react. Range is another critical classification. Short-range ballistic missiles, or SRBMs, typically have a range of under 1,000 kilometers. They are considered tactical weapons, used for battlefield targets. Medium-range ballistic missiles, or MRBMs, can travel between 1,000 and 3,000 kilometers, posing a threat to regional stability. Intermediate-range ballistic missiles, or IRBMs, cover distances from 3,000 to 5,500 kilometers, giving them theater-level strategic importance. Finally, the famous intercontinental ballistic missiles, or ICBMs, have ranges exceeding 5,500 kilometers, enabling them to strike targets anywhere on the globe. But how do these missiles find their targets? This is where the guidance system comes in. One of the most common is infrared homing, often called heat-seeking. These missiles have a sensor in their nose that locks onto the heat signature of a target, like the exhaust of a jet engine. Early versions could be fooled by flares, which are hot decoys released by aircraft. But modern infrared seekers are much smarter and can distinguish between the target and countermeasures. Another major type is radar guidance. This can be broken down into three modes. In active radar homing, the missile has its own small radar transmitter to illuminate the target and guide itself. In semi-active homing, the launch platform, like a fighter jet, must keep its radar pointed at the target, painting it for the missile to follow. Passive radar homing is different. The missile doesn't emit any signals, but instead homes in on the radar emissions from the target itself, making it ideal for anti-radiation missiles that hunt enemy radar sites. For hitting stationary targets with incredible precision, GPS and laser guidance are king. GPS-guided munitions use satellite signals to navigate to a set of pre-programmed coordinates. Laser guidance involves a spotter, either on the ground or in the air, pointing a laser at the target. The missile then follows this laser reflection all the way to impact. These technologies are what enable the precision-guided munitions, or PGMs, that have become a hallmark of modern conflict. Finally, we classify missiles by their warhead, the part that actually does the damage. Conventional warheads are the most common, carrying high explosives. These can be designed for different effects, like blast fragmentation warheads that send shrapnel flying in all directions, or penetrator warheads, also known as bunker busters, which are designed to pierce through hardened concrete before detonating. Of course, there are also nuclear warheads. These are the most destructive weapons ever created, with their explosive power measured in kilotons or megatons, thousands or millions of tons of TNT equivalent. They form the core of the strategic deterrent forces of major world powers. There are also specialized warheads, like anti-ship warheads. These are designed to defeat the defenses of naval vessels. They often use a combination of sea-skimming flight paths to avoid detection and terminal maneuvers to hit the most vulnerable parts of a ship, like the waterline, to cause maximum damage. From their launch platforms to their flight paths, from their range to their guidance systems, missiles are a complex and fascinating subject. Understanding these classifications helps us grasp not just the technology itself, but also the strategic thinking behind its use. They are a powerful reminder of human ingenuity, for better or for worse. Thanks so much for joining us on this deep dive. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss an update.